and then it'll pull up our timesheet, and that's how we like to run it, and then we confirm the hours they worked.
Okay.
So that's really how it works, and it lists their title, and so we also do a callback. That would be, I forgot about that. So that'd be something else that if we could add a miscellaneous to the calendar, right? So like, let me find a callback here.
Go back to yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh, that doesn't have the call. Do you remember last time you entered a callback?
Right there.
You got one?
Is that, oh no.
Oh, this is the strike team.
Yeah, and then the
Oh,
call.
a callback right here. So Aldo had a callback yesterday. So we'll add them to like a miscellaneous category to
Okay.
help us do our callback. So I know we're probably a little weird how we do it, but that's the way we.
Okay. All right. We'll miscellaneous section you have. We will handle that what we call off roster,
Okay.
and I'll explain that once we get into that part of it. As far as the creating the PDF for your time card stuff, that'll be something on our next call we'll probably get into. We probably won't have time to get into that today.
Okay.
But if you'd like, you can take over the screen here and I can get into your live site.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Make sure I'm sharing the right one here. So we are looking right now at the live 1-day view of your shift board, which right now is completely empty, and we'll get to fixing that here in a second. Now, what are we doing here? I didn't reset my PowerPoint from my previous call.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to accomplish with the configuration 1 call is, I should pause myself here. If you guys haven't logged into the system at all yet, this is how the initial instructions to get into it, and also the instructions I would give to any of your end users as they're looking to get logged into the system and using it. I'm recording this call, so all of the stuff will be available to you guys later, and so no need to write this down unless you want the notes. But this sizeup.first2sizeup.com, you'll go to that website, put in an email address that's going to be associated with your department, and then click the forgot password. That'll generate you an email, and then you're going to be able to click on that link to set your password up, and then you or your end users will be able to be in business from there. The goals of today is if you want to set up your qualifiers, build out groups if you have any. We want to talk about building out your rotations, outline your assignments, go over work types and time off types. And then if all goes well, we should be able to have your shift board built out by the end of the call. And you should be able to start using that concurrently with ALAD as we go forward.
Okay. Perfect.
Just to talk about concepts, our qualifiers get used a couple different ways. For the purposes of the shift board and building out assignments, the qualifier is going to be a minimum requirement. So if you have that BC position that you have, like, we want that assignment to be your BC all the time. So we're going to make a battalion chief qualifier or equivalent of that, so that you're going to be able to make sure that only those people that had that qualifier exist there. Same for your firefighters or driver operators, all that those are qualifiers. Qualifiers are also come into play later when we deal with call shifts and messaging. So if you want to send out overtime availability to your BCs, you can do that from there. Groups are going to be more of like a specialty team or unit. So if you think about like a hazmat team or tactical rescue, maybe you have a rescue task force, something along that lines. It's going to work with, active shooters or critical incidents. If people assigned to those, that's where you're going to want your groups. Also rotations, which I didn't ask about in the demographics, but those that are on the 24-hour schedules, what type of rotations are you guys using?
So it's whatever they sign up for. So they come into the calendar on the, what do you have to do?
Yeah, no, there's no set schedule. They just basically, the month before they request the days, and then I schedule it to, once I give them the shift, then it pops up, and then they get notified as well. But they don't have a set schedule. It's whatever they sign up for.
Okay. All right. So we will not need rotations for you unless you have like an on-call rotation where you have people that take on-call times for like a given week, like, week on, 2 weeks off, then another week on, nothing like that. Okay.
No, so most of it's, I mean, some of our people have regularly scheduled days they pick up just because they're so high in seniority. It just has become their day. But
Yeah.
there's no like, hey, when you get hired here, you're on A shift, B shift, C shift, none of that. It's
Okay.
just, hey, I can work this week 4 shifts. Okay, cool. Put in for your 4 shifts. And they'll normally go into like the calendar and they'll request the day and they're like, hey, I'm available. And then it sends, so RVC Cabral, he's the one that does the schedule. So he'll go in on the 20th, he'll go, okay, all 14 people requested Monday. Well, that's not going to work, right? So
Right.
he'll pick the senior guys and then move across the week to fill in the rest of the gaps. So
Okay.
that's how we do it. Hopefully that'll work for you guys.
Yeah, I think we can do that. And obviously that makes it a little bit more work intensive for you guys, but it sounds like you've been doing it that way and that's how you want to do it. So we can make that happen. Assignments, we'll build those out very similar to what you have right now with, and it'll look very similar, I think, to CrewSense. And then like your work types, that's just like your regular, your overtime, holiday, same with vacation, comp, admin, like all those kind of things are going to be consistent. I know there's going to be some vernacular differences from the East Coast to the West Coast on how things get done, but generally speaking, you're going to have like 5 or 6 work types probably. So from there, I'm just going to take you into your site. Any of the changes that we make today or that we build out, you can change it later. So if I type something in, you don't like the language of it, like you can change it. It's fine. So what I'm doing here, I'm on the left-hand side of your site under the scheduling module. We're going to go down to setup. Just the first couple things I want to just highlight before we get in here. For your start of day as a general matter of speaking, is it 8 a.m. or do you guys start at 7 or 6 or?
So our BC start at 8 and then our crew starts at 7 because we just wanted some overlap. But if we can't divide those up, then let's start it at 7.
We absolutely can sort it out. That's fine later on, but this would just dictate later. Like when we click into building out assignments, this is going to default to 8, but we can change it later too.
Let's do 7 for now. We'll add our BC later if we have to. So I'd rather get the crew set up today.
Yeah, of course. All right, so save that, and then time format, we can do it in the 12-hour clock or a 24-hour or 24-hour military.
24 military works.
Perfect. And then time granularity, however tight you want to get with keeping track of hours. You can go from 1 minute up to 30 minutes. It's totally up to you. And you also don't have to make a decision right now.
But yeah, just leave it. We'll think about that later.
There is an option where we can put in this toggle here for maximum consecutive hours, which ultimately makes it so you can let the system provide you a notification if someone's worked too many hours in a row. It also will accommodate for minimum hours of time off between shifts, if that's something you guys have.
No, we kind of just play it year by year, day by day.
Yeah, works for me, man. The rest of this, we're kind of going to leave alone. The only thing I'm going to toggle on for you right now that I like to see is this indicate non-minimum positions in gray. When we get to the shift board, I'll explain that to you a little bit better. But basically, you can have positions that are on your shift board that are minimum mandatories. Those will appear in like a yellow color. And if it's a position that would be nice to be filled, if you can fill it, but it doesn't have to be filled, then we can have that be gray. And the rest of these we'll just skip over for now. Into qualifiers, which is in this left-hand column. Hang on, got to hit save. Always hit save. Into qualifiers, we've got these handful that have been built out already. I see you've got 19 people assigned to your firefighter, 10 as an engineer, 3 battalion chiefs. Like all that looks good. Based on what we talked about qualifiers so far, are there any other ones that you think might make sense?
No, again, I mean, this is our organizational chart. This is these are the names we use, but
yeah,
when it comes to our actual shifts, we don't necessarily use these qualifiers for the
Okay.
shifts, right? So like engineer, we actually don't have 10. We actually only have 3, but we have firefighters that can drive.
Okay.
So that has to be a consideration in our qualifier. And I don't know if that's just a checkbox or how that works.
Well, it's going to create a scenario where, like, if we want to make the minimum requirement for a position be an engineer, and the reason you have them as an engineer is because they're driver operators, then like maybe we
Oh,
should
that's
make a
fine. So we'll
qualifier.
just change the name. You said we can edit the name, so I'll just change the title engineer to ENOP. That's
Yeah.
fine.
So,
Okay, that works.
well, let's do it right now.
Okay. ENOP. There you go. Boom.
Okay. For qualifiers, we can have it set up to show on the shift board next to the person's name. And then it would be in whatever color tag we decide. I typically recommend to leave the qualifier shut off because it's going to pop up when we make that a requirement of the position.
We've used that though.
So we have, so currently our driver operators are red, our officers are white, and then all of our firefighter position rank is, black.
Okay. I'll toggle it on, and then when we get into the shift board, I'll show you what I mean by that.
Okay, and then one more thing for the qualifier too is,
Yeah.
we have, so I don't know how, like, I don't know if you saw on Crew Sense what we have, it says like, ENOP, and then there's like a little EMT box, because we have a lot of personnel that are not EMTs. It's just like a tracking tool that we use to make sure they get paid correctly, because we have like an extra stipend for like EMT pay.
Okay.
Do you guys, is that something that we can add there too? So when it shows on the shift board, it says like, you know, Dr. Brow, like OIC EMT, or, you know, so-and-so as an operator, ENOP/EMT.
So what other agencies probably do is maybe like hazmat team certified, right? So I could look at the board and go, hey, this dude's not at the hazmat station, but he's got this little check mark that tells me he's one of our hazmat people. Is there something like that?
Yeah, we would create a group for that.
Okay.
And then that would appear on the shift board for that they were a part of that group.
Okay.
If we want to make it so that your person's reflecting that they're getting a different work type, like let's say they're EMT and getting EMT pay, are there times when that person's not getting EMT pay but working?
No, but what it is like, so like Crew Sense doesn't allow us to have like a person that you can set up to just be like firefighter. So what we do is we just added the qualifier of EMT. So when I put them on the schedule, it automatically knows they're a firefighter EMT. And then when they get upgraded to ENOP, then I switch their qualifier in their group and I add the ENOP in there. So then when I put them on the schedule, it automatically shows them as an ENOP EMT.
Okay. So I think
able to work that on the back end too.
Yeah.
I think we can absolutely do what you're trying to do, but maybe we just kind of build this out at a low level first, and then we can come back in and tweak things. Because I think I have a decent understanding, and what you're trying to do is not complicated, but I think we need to talk through a little bit more, and maybe you guys see the visual of what your shift board is going to look like once we get it built out.
Yeah.
Like I said, none of these things are set in stone. It's all malleable. So let's leave this qualifier as your ENOP. And then we can jump into groups. And we're just talking about hazmat. Let's create a group for hazmat. I'm not sure what you'd use for your short code for hazmat, HZT, or you want something different. We can change it, but do you have a color preference for a team called hazmat?
So we technically don't have anything to do with hazmat. I just want to give you a real world example. So if you want to put EMT, that would be the one that would be one we actually use. So emergency medical technician, EMT, whatever you want to write there. Yeah. And they're blue.
Yeah.
They're blue.
Okay. All right. So what we do now is we want to manage our users. So I'm going to click on this toggle, and the best way this typically works is if you just want to call out names as I scroll down
Yeah,
here.
so that one, click that one.
Okay.
The next one, the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one. Skip Marco.
Okay.
Subia, yes. Cabral, yes. Patty Brooks, yes. Mercado, yes. Mercado, yes. Coelho, yes.
Oh, Nicholas.
Nicholas.
I thought it was
Rush, no, good, you got it. You Mason, yes. Chavez, no. Flores, yes. Garcia, no. Joshua, he's actually our PA. You can skip him. Trista, yes. Austin Cousins,
Yes.
yes. Skip, yes. Stokes, yep, that one. Skip, yes, for Robert. Tomas, yes. Austin Lucas?
No.
No. Skip Lucas. Estrada, yes. Oh, what's that one you had?
Alex Martinez.
Yes. Yeah, he was. Vargas, Skip. Tony Anderson, yes. Skip Bowen, yes. Keith, yes. Jasmine, yes.
I'm sorry, Torres is a skip and Keith is a yes.
Yeah. Keith
Okay.
is yes. Correct. Jasmine, yes. Caleb, yes. Miguel, yes. Amy, skip. Aldo, yes. Bruce, skip. Justin, yes.
I think that's it.
That's everybody. Yep. There you go.
All right. So once we get all these guys selected, we will hit this right arrow in the middle of the window. That's going to drop them over onto the selected, and then we hit save. So now our group here is built out. And if at any point you want to remove any of these people from here, this list, you can either hit the garbage can or you go back into the manage users, check on their name, hit the left arrow, it puts them back over to available and office selected.
Perfect.
I will save this group. And just using that as an example, and then double check. Yeah.
Fill out your OICs and everything else.
You'll have to, well, we'll see when he.
There's some
dashboard.
great groups to fill that too.
A lot of this sounds familiar to what we were doing.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
It is going to be very similar. All right. So then rotations. You guys don't have any rotations, so we need to worry about that.
Oh,
After rotations, we're going to jump up to assignments. From assignments, you can have as many or as little as you want. I mean, you need to at least have one, but I'm just going to click on the add assignment. And what would we like to call, was it station 55? Is that what you want to call your?
Yeah, so station 55 is the crew for the day. Perfect.
Okay. Address line and all this information, we can leave it blank. It doesn't really play a huge role in much of anything for what we're doing here. The associations, we have all of your different call signs that are here, which will then link up with your dispatch. I can just do a select all here. I'm assuming these are all going to operate out of station 55.
Correct.
Okay. And then we'll do the same with the apparatus. And if you see anything on here that doesn't look right, then I can untoggle it, obviously.
So on the apparatus, well, okay, so associate with unit call sign. So what does that mean, I guess? What is the benefit or whatever to have all those selected?
So with the call sign ID, that's going to talk with your responder module.
Okay, got it. So if they're on shift, it's going to say, hey, this person is tied to
Yep.
this call. Or
Yeah.
this.
So if that apparatus gets sent out, then anybody on this assignment is going to be attached to those call signs if it gets sent out. And then
Okay.
when it's associated with the apparatus, this is more talking to like the assets and the assets module.
Okay, that's fine.
And then I'm just going to associate with station 55, and there's that. So with this being your operations or for your engine cross staffing, you want them starting at 7, correct?
Correct.
And then I'm just going to back the first occurrence up to the first of the month, just so we have a little bit of retroactivity here, and you can do whatever you want with that, but this is might make it easier as we go forward.
Okay.
Our last occurrence, if we leave it empty, it's going to go on from now until forever. So typically with like your standard operations assignment, we're going to leave that empty here. But if you're doing an assignment for a special event, if you have any like local festivals or things like that, that you do like a weekend assignment that would be extra and additional, you can create those assignments here, which have a start and an end date. And then it makes it easier for you to bring them back up the next year and create a new assignment based upon the one you've already built out.
You understand that?
Like where I'm at in Michigan, I live in Traverse City. We've got a cherry festival that runs for 10 days every July. And our department would staff out about 10 officers a day to different areas within that cherry festival. And like we could just build that out for a 10-day stretch. And it would now live, recurring every year till forever if you wanted it to.
So we have 4th of July is like a good one for us, where we
Yeah.
up staff. Okay.
Yep. So and actually we'll jump over here to do your assignment, your positions within this assignment, and then I can help you with the 4th of July thing just as a demo.
Okay.
But you have 3 positions. Is that what we said we're putting on per
Correct.
day?
And then we have the option to, on the dashboard, we currently have the option to add more positions and stuff like that. You guys still have that on yours as well?
Yeah, we can do it 2 ways. We can either leave it as these 3 positions here that are all going to count as mandatory minimums with this toggle on. And then if you want to add positions for a specific day, you can add them from the shift board to this
Okay.
assignment.
Yeah.
Or if we want to always have, say, an extra 1 or 2 positions that are available to sign up for, we can toggle this off, which will then make this still you can sign up for it, you can still assign people to it, and it'll exist in your shift board, but it doesn't count towards the mandatory minimum.
Okay.
It's
And then also too
completely
is something I just thought of too is if I schedule somebody to work like the front half 12, so like 07 to 1900, will the
Yeah.
system automatically populate another box that says, hey, I need somebody from 1900 to 0700 the next day?
yeah, it'll end up splitting the line.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
And
It will. So for right now, I'll just take this line off. Now we talk about the qualifiers. Now for your first position here, would this qualifier be a good one to put in your ENOP qualifier?
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm going to put that here. So that means that the only person that you're going to be able to put in here without a warning alarm is someone that has this ENOP qualifier.
Can you add another one or no?
We cannot add a second minimum qualifier, just the one per line.
Can you add a minimum qualifier for the whole shift? Like now we need to have an EMT
Absolutely.
without applying it to a specific position.
Yep. So that's where the shared groups comes in.
Okay.
So with the shared groups, we can say add a shared group. And let's say, for example, you want to have one EMT on shift.
Yeah. Yes.
You do not care which one of these 3 is your EMT as long as one of them is.
Perfect.
Or we can make it 2 or we can make it 3.
Just the one is all we require, right?
Well, okay, so let's say all 3 guys are EMT. Will the dashboard show those guys that have that EMT qualifier?
Yes.
Okay, and then the reason why I asked about the ENOP position is because like sometimes myself or Chief Bowling cover the engine when we don't have a driver. But in order to not mess up the pay system, we put ourselves as the OIC, right? So technically, we put ourselves as like the operator, but we're actually classified as the OIC EMT just for the payroll portion of it.
Okay.
So can a
at
higher? Go ahead. I was going to say, can a higher qualified person fill a lower qualified position?
So we can always force anybody into any position. It's just going to give you a little alert, a little warning saying that the person you're trying to put into the slot doesn't have the qualifier.
Yeah, that's how it is now. Yeah.
But like what I would recommend, and I guess we need to get a little bit more into the weeds on the payroll side of it, but I would put the people in your ENOP qualifier are anyone who is qualified to drive a rig. So that means you guys too. I mean, you granted this isn't like a title. This is like a skill set or a training is how I would look at it.
Okay.
So like for you guys, if you were to work,
So I would be in two different lists then. I would be in the officer list and I would be in the ENOP list.
correct. So you can, as an individual, you can be assigned to 1 qualifier, 0 qualifiers, or 100 qualifiers. It doesn't matter. You would also probably be in the firefighter list as well because you're qualified to go work down to that level. Yeah.
Okay.
So firefighter all the way up to obviously.
So you're gonna have
You
to.
guys.
For us.
So you'll be on 4 different lists.
Yeah, but for like when you run the payroll, right, like under the current system, you print the time card, right, you go by position, right? OIC,
Well, yeah,
right? So
but
if I'm listed as the OIC as a driver, it's still, you're still paying me because.
As the OIC.
Yeah, exactly, right? But,
Okay, we'll mess with that.
Well,
Okay.
and on our time sheet, you should be all right anyways, because Lou already sees him as OIC, right?
I kind of know who's.
Yeah,
there,
well,
so
okay.
So
That might be a change for us, but I don't think it's a big
But
deal.
if you guys work down, are you getting paid less?
No,
No,
Okay.
and that's the problem we're having is if when we run the payroll or the timesheets through that PDF, is it gonna show us as an ENOP on the timesheet or will it show us as our actual position?
No, only thing that's going to what we're going to be able to show on here, unless we need to do something different to change how you get paid, it's going to show you on regular time, overtime, or whatever the time like work types that we're going to use.
Oh, so it won't even say the position I was.
Correct. So
Oh.
unless the position is going to
So that'll
change
be
how you're
different.
getting paid.
It
Yeah.
it won't. It won't
Yeah.
change.
so,
Okay.
so go back to like, one of the days, like, okay, so you see it, oh no, you're
He
not.
can't see,
Okay,
but I could show him later, but
all right.
or do a screenshot. I think we'll be fine though, because look, so like, I know it's his ENOP there, but we already know he's an ENOP because in our system or in our payroll with Lou, he's designated an ENOP. It might get tricky. I think it's gonna be a problem for you, not for
That,
us.
yeah, it's good, exactly.
No.
Yeah. And obviously I don't have the intimate knowledge of your guys' operation,
yeah.
how you do, but I feel like we might be overcomplicating this a little bit.
No, and I agree. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
we can keep going, Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, you're fine. And as far as these last 2 assignment spots, we can leave them as any qualifier, so anyone can work here. But is it the firefighter role you want in here, or what?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes we have 2 to 3 operators on duty per day,
But he
Right.
said you put him, it won't matter.
so we
because-
could add that in there.
Yeah, so if they're an ENOP, they're already gonna qualify as a firefighter, so you could put them in there if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Again, the pay thing.
But I know we'll figure that
All
out. I think the pay thing, I wanna get this figured out and then we can fix the pay thing. I'm not
Yeah,
even worried about
I
that.
can
Yeah.
alter that.
Okay. So one of the things the first do, like one of the few things I really don't like is this particular setup. Now, if you want to change this qualifier, if you click on the word once, nothing happens. If you could double click on it, then it works. So in order to change your qualifier, you have to double click on any qualifier part to make that pop up. Just for your reference. So I'll put these 2 as firefighters.
Can we put any qualifier for all the spots?
You can, but then it's not gonna tell you what you're missing. Like it won't be like, hey,
I know I'm missing, okay?
let's see, let's have them show us that. Please.
All right. So we'll build this out as such. We've got this happening, this assignments every single day with your 3 positions. And we're just going to hit save on it. Before I jump to the shift board, we got to build out work types. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to like start plugging people in and putting them where they need to be. So do you guys have what I'm assuming is just like regular time would be your normal like basic pay rate?
Correct. So in crew sense, their stipend, it's a stipend shift. So we'll take what their rate is and we'll divide it by 24 hours, right? So like Torres, you'll see like if I go into his to edit it automatically. But we don't necessarily use this. So his hourly rate's $5.20. So we don't necessarily use that too much anymore. We used to use it because we had another station we managed. So we did,
Okay.
but now it's a flat rate.
Okay. So flat rate, and you're not dealing with 1 hour worked, 1 hour pay type deal.
So,
No, you don't really have to worry about that portion of it.
Okay. Let's just build this out as is for right now with regular time and an R for short code. So the work type name is going to be what your agency knows it as. This is like the common vernacular. The short code is what your payroll company is going to know it as. So this is where if it's just R, maybe it's REG, maybe it's a 7-digit code with a couple periods in it. Like I don't know what it is, but that's what your payroll company is going to know it as, and that's the code we need here. And as far as like breaking down how we're going to make this work with the stipend, that's going to be like a next call thing for us, but we'll get there.
so again, this is if we want to export into a payroll system, this particular page you're on, or where does this tie back into the program?
This is going to go towards creating that the PDF spreadsheet or the PDF
Got it.
sheet that.
So that's fine, because I think the other one says the same thing.
Okay. The shift type with this toggled on means that if somebody is on this type of work, if they're on regular time, they cannot be elsewhere. So it's really useful so that you don't get people both on regular time and on overtime, just to protect for that. The only time you might turn this off is if you had an on-call rotation where if like the chief's on call for a week and there's like a schedule where you keep that going. I would have an on-call work type and I would toggle this off so that you could be both on regular time and on the on-call time. Counting towards call shift rankings. Again, call shifts are something we'll get into in our next call, but with the rankings for it, like my old department, we would keep track of the amount of overtime that people worked. So we would order the lowest person on overtime, the overtime list for an open shift if needed. So for regular time, you probably don't want to keep track of that, but maybe if you do for overtime, you would toggle this on so that this would be a list that got kept track of for when people got offered overtime or got selected for it. The subtypes of work type, if we toggle this on, it's going to make it so you can get a little bit more granular with how you're keeping track of your records. So if you have somebody that is here on regular time, but they're actually in training, and you as the administrator want to be able to differentiate how that time's being spent, then you can do that here. We would still use the same short code that's going to be associated with that regular pay, but because payroll doesn't care what subtype they're on, they just care that they're getting paid regular or overtime or whatever. I typically, with the color schemes with First Due, things like regular, which are fairly benign and common, I would make them a gray color because it's something you don't want to stand out. And then reserve your bright colors for things like overtime or things that are costing the department more money, just so you can be aware.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to hit save on that for now. And then we're going to just do a quick time off type in here for you as well. What's your most common time off type that you deal with?
Personal leave is what they typically.
I think we have what, like sick, personal,
Yeah, where's my time off?
pulled from shift,
We do have a pull from shift, because if we don't have a driver, we'll pull them.
call off.
Oh, strike team was the other one.
Strike personal sick.
So personnel, that personal time off is fine. That you
And we can add all those, right?
Yeah, we have them.
Yep. You can add them all. You can change them all. It's all malleable. So I'm going to go across these 4 toggles here and like how this will work for the time off. With the include in call shift toggle, this is the scenario when you are trying to fill an open vacancy and you've activated a call shift and you've sent it out to all of your staff, notifying them that, hey, tomorrow, September 19th, I've got an open shift to fill. Who wants it? Well, if we leave this untoggled, the person who's on PTO for the 19th is not going to get that call shift. So odds are the person that is on the PTO for the 19th is the one that created the call shift anyway. But if we don't care, we want them to be included in the call shift. If they're on PTO, we say include them. This person's still going to get that email. It doesn't mean they're going to get an order. It doesn't mean you have to take it. It just means they're going to get notified that there's a vacancy. The protect toggle has to do with how the end users are going to see what type of time off the other end users are on. So for personal and vacation or whatever it might be, you probably don't care and that the other end users can see what type of time off they're on. But if it's a disciplinary issue or if it's a health issue where there might be HIPAA complications, you might want to protect those so that your end users aren't going to be able to see what the end users are on. As administrators, you can always see what the time off type is, so it's not going to impact you. But my recommendation, if you're only dealing with like 5 or 6 different types, and if you only choose to protect the ones that are the medical or disciplinary type issues, and let everyone else see the others, it won't take long for people to put 2 and 2 together and figure out that, okay, this guy got in trouble. That's what happened here. That's why he's off. So the recommendation is typically to protect all or protect none, just from that standpoint.
Yeah, and I think there's only one we do protect, and it actually hides them from everybody else. So what you're saying though is it just will hide the reason. It won't hide the fact they're off.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, then you just do it for all of something.
Yeah. And then the subtype works just the same as with work types. So I won't dive into that for this portion. And then the requestable part is whether or not we want to allow your users to request personal time through the first due system. They can always request it to you in person with a phone call or an email. But if you want the system to be able to help automate that for you, we can leave that toggled on for personal, which would probably be pretty typical. But if you have a disciplinary leave type, you're going to toggle that off because you don't want people to be able to select their own disciplinary leave, I would assume. But
yeah, so the system will email us and we still have to approve the time off though.
yes.
Okay, yeah, that's how we have it now, where they can go in. We use the app, so that was one of my questions I was going to ask you later. Is there an app for this program? Because go ahead.
There sure is.
Okay, so we'll have them go in on the app and they'll request their time off, and then we normally tell them to follow it up with a text message or something,
Yep.
so that way he knows to look it up and approve it or not or whatever. Okay.
For sure. Yep. And then with that being requestable, we have the buffer period, which is next. So if you've got a policy or a collective bargaining agreement in place that requires like a minimum buffer time before they request it, like my old agency was 7 days. If you had to request vacation time 7 days prior to the shift that you were requesting off.
I think ours was 12, right? You had it set as 12, so they have to put in the request within 12, otherwise they gotta call you and say, hey, I want to take time off. Because
do
the
we
system won't on that.
do we have to have that on there? Because sometimes they do it after or whatever, you know what I mean?
Well, you're the one's gonna be running it, so
Yeah,
you don't want it at all.
You don't want a time qualifier?
No. Because like sometimes they call me like 30 minutes after the shift starts, like, ain't you that, you know, I can't work. Yeah.
Yeah,
Trust
yeah,
me,
you
I
can take
for
it
every
out.
reason.
We used to, I think we had it for 12 hours where they couldn't put it in the system if it was 12 hours before the shift.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter anyways, because they still do it. So we don't need that.
Okay, and that's fine. And so I was just to clarify, like all this is going to impact is whether or not they can utilize the first due system to request it.
Yeah.
If they come to you 30 minutes after the shift starts and they ask you for time off, you can still move them into that time off.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. This is just what's going to prohibit them to be able to utilize the system for.
So you want it where they can still just 30 minutes after the shift started request time off? Or you want to keep it where they got to do it before the shift and then call you no matter what?
Either way, man. I mean, we can mess with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's leave it
That's
for
fine.
now. Yeah, leave it blank.
The notify section here is not super intuitive just by looking at it, but what this is designed for is the scenario where you have somebody that's called in sick multiple days in a row. It's going to generate a notification to administration letting you know that, hey, this person called in sick 3 days in a row. Maybe you should follow up with them and get that doctor's note. So again, that's going to be a policy or a CBA issue if whatever you guys have in place for that. And I don't know if you do, or if you'd want it, but
No, we don't need that.
No, but we will get to, so how does it determine who gets the request for the time off?
so what we do, for the rest of request for time off,
Yeah.
That will be done when the person requests the time off. So I'm gonna
Oh,
jump.
they'll check.
Yeah, I can show you real quick. I can do it for my onboarding site if you want to see it. But
No, that's fine. The
Okay.
explanation's good. Thank you.
yeah. But then like the notify portion here, with personal time, you probably don't want that unless that's also your sick bank. But if you guys had something like that in place, this is where we would set up this reminder notification for you so that you can get that heads up to get in front of a problem. That's all. And then this bottom section here is just for the subtypes, which we talked about in work types. So now that we're to this point, we can jump over to our shift board and we can kind of see how this is taking shape. So we're looking at today's date for station 55. And right now you can see that we've got this little blue oval here that's given us 0 of 3 days or 0 of 3 positions that are filled. And this other warning indicator is letting us know that we do not have the group requirement fulfilled, which is having 1 EMT. So we know right away we don't have that. If you'd like, we can start plugging people in here so you can see what that looks like.
So how do we add positions into here? So like we need to have like our on-call chief and then like the other things on the dashboard. How do we add stuff like that?
So we would want to put them in as an assignment. So we'd go back into that setup page, we'd create an assignment for your on-call chief. We would create any other, like your education person, we can put her into, like all those would get created as separate assignments.
I didn't understand your question though either, Don. So you want to add a fourth person?
Well, no,
right
I'm
now?
saying is right now for the station 55, like we're only showing the engine crew, right? So
Correct, because
we're-
that's all we're, yeah, we
you know how to do that?
yeah, that's what I told him to just set up the engine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We'll add, so we'll go in and we'll add it. That's like he just explained. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about something else. No, we knew we were only gonna see one right now.
Okay.
So for this first ENOT position, who would we want to plug in here on today's date? Like who's working?
So we're on here right now. So if I make changes, you could refresh and see our changes,
Yeah,
right?
go for it,
Okay,
man.
so
So here, well, one other question before we get in that far. So what we do is the previous pay period, the guys actually pick their availability on the days
Yep.
they want to work, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody, so our day is normally the 20th of every month. The guys put in their requests.
Yeah.
So like I see it as just like a gray box and I see the person in there, right? So
Yeah.
then when and after the 20th, when I build a schedule, there might be 8 people that requested to work that day. So then once I click on that person and assign that shift to them, it highlights them, then everybody can see that, and then they also get notified I gave them the shift.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm going to just demonstrate that for you for my onboarding site, so you don't have anybody probably in here to show availability for. Right now I'm in here on-
We disabled it.
That's because he's in it.
No, we didn't enable the rotation.
No, I'm sorry. I just moved over to a different spot here. So if I'm the end user, I'm one of your firefighters and I want to sign up for something for my days, I'm going to go over to the My Shifts portion of the scheduling module. And like right now you can see from my calendar for this month of September that I'm assigned to these shifts here already that I'm working. But I've also gone in and indicated for the future days that like I'm available to work from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. on the 19th. So like this is how I would set my availability. It's just a matter of I click on this date for the 20th, for example, and I can say what assignments I'm available for. So like in your case, it'd be for the Engine 55 assignment. And then you can put down the times that you're available to work. And now I've set up here to be that I'm eligible to work from 9 to 9 on this date. So for you on the administrative side, when you're building this out, you go back to your shift board and you want to look at the 19th. Now you get this new window here on the scheduling deputy for availability. And it's just saying that Thomas Flitton is available to work the patrol nights from 9 to 7. And then all these other things that are off to the side are my qualifiers that are just different acronyms. And if you've got 14 people that have said that they're available to work on whatever date, you're going to have 14 people in this dropdown. And then you would just drag and drop them into the vacancy that you want.
So does it show on the shift board the personnel that are available, or is it off to the right that I have to select from.
It's going to be off to the right where you're going to select from.
So I just added myself available for the 19th. Well, there it is. So right here, download. So these are the people that are available. So you could take this right now and you can add me in here. Obviously, I don't master qualifier, but we already talked about that.
Okay.
So now you got it, but it'll show everybody right here.
Okay.
So okay, so that's gonna be changed for our people. So we're gonna have to
Yeah.
freaking deal with that. Okay. Okay, we see it now. We were able to play it and shadow you.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of the way that's going to work.
That might actually, because look, yeah, you're right. I go into my shifts and okay, so I go to the next month and I'm like, hey, I could work this day, and I just put myself in, and then now when you come in to do the shift, you're going to go to that day and it's going to say it right here. Oh, this person's available, right? So like this day you well, I'm in here now.
Right.
But where is it? Okay.
Okay. Do we want to add in another assignment so it starts to fill out your board a little bit?
Yeah, so if you refresh, you'll see I added myself to one. I'll add a firefighter to this one real quick.
Yeah.
Michael Bush.
It's right there.
No rotation. No
It says it's required though. So when we're trying to put our personnel on and we hit save, it's giving us an error saying rotation is required. Please select a rotation, but obviously we didn't put rotation.
So I just fixed that for you.
Oh,
If you're seeing my screen right now, there's the shift board setting that brings it up by rotation by default or single day by default when we want to add somebody in. So because you guys don't have rotations, we're just going to leave it on the single day by default. And
so
now
do
you
I
should
click single day or save?
you click single day right now if you see single day on the bottom, click that and it's going to bring up a different window for you.
Okay, so it says initial call shift, mandatory fill, or just save.
Just
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So like right now, this is on the single day. So you want to just hit save.
Okay, perfect. So there you go. I just updated another one with it's supposed to be Michael Brush. They spelled it. Okay, so now we got two for that day or for today. Oh, I'm on the 19th. Sorry. There we go. And we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so we filled that shift.
Okay.
I
Now,
get it.
right. So now that's filled out. So that's all like a manual thing for you. Now, if we jump out to the 30-day view, when you look at this all condensed, like we can see now on the 19th, you've got 3 of 3. So you're golden for that assignment. The 30-day view is going to show all of your assignments. So if you start adding in the OIC or do you want to add in your education position, they would also show here as well. But a lot of your building of this is going to be dependent on your people indicating their availability in the My Shifts calendar. So there's a lot of stuff that this system will do with the rotations and filling things out. And like with a few clicks, we can get your calendar built out for, months in advance. But the way you're going to operate with this, it's not going to look as pretty.
Yeah, that's fine. So if I did put in for a day before I'm assigning the shift, could I delete it? So I go back to my shifts.
Yep.
I would say I want to work the 20th, right? Well, I put myself in for station 55. I hit save, but I changed my mind before I'm assigning the shift. I can just click the X.
Just click the X, and then are you sure you want to delete this availability? And it's gone.
Okay, that's
So,
another
yeah,
thing they wanted that because right now they got to call us. But we could open that feature up. But if we open that feature up, it also allows them to delete themselves from the past. So, but anyways, yeah, that's a good. Okay, they'll be happy to see that.
Yep. So that'll work well. Any other questions you guys got?
No, I think we're pretty much like we've been. So shift board, I keep going to dashboard, shift board is where we're gonna be. Okay, and then let's say I wanted to put someone on time off, they call me,
Just
we drag and drop, boom, and then, yep, same as we do now. Okay,
So-
so
You can drag and drop, or if you right click on it, it gives you a few more options. So
Oh.
from that right click, you can add holdover hours, you can send people the time off from here, add trades, move them to a different assignment. You can actually just go and look at that individual user's calendar if you want to see what they're looking like. Keith, I've got you on here, for this day tomorrow.
okay, perfect. So also, so if we wanted to right now add someone on a callback, um, you said something about the off roster, or am I getting
Yeah.
too far ahead?
No, we
Okay,
aren't.
so-
You're not.
So the
So let's
off
say-
roster, go ahead.
Yeah, so we just click on that plus sign for off roster.
Okay,
And we put your employee name and type your employee name in here, and then you would just be putting in what type of work it's going to
yeah,
be.
we'll make that callback. Yeah,
So you have work type for callback.
yeah, we'll have to put one in, obviously. Yeah,
Yep. And you
Yeah,
can
work
either
type.
do this by duration or by just a straight amount, however it works.
duration's perfect.
And then you would just hit the save, and it's going to add them into the off roster. So it's going to count them for payroll, but it's not. I would use this for a person who is maybe like just not associated with your operations at all. It's still going to keep track of their hours, but it's not going to. This doesn't put them on the shift board. This is the person who's doing like a special event at a school or something else.
But it's, yeah, so perfect. We're not worried about them showing up on the shift board, but it will show up on the
Yep.
PDF.
100%.
That's exactly what we want. That's
Yep.
perfect. I mean, right now it shows them on the shift board for everybody, but we're not worried about it because
Yeah.
we know they were. We don't care if the other people don't necessarily care.
And then one other question I got since we're in the screen, how does an employee initiate a shift trade?
Ooh, shift trades. So, let me do it from my demo site here. So they would go to the shift trade option that's on the scheduling module. And this right now is populating because these are all the days that I am working into the future, at least for the next 30 days. So if I want to trade off my October 1st, I would say, hey, I want to trade this day. And then I would start wanting to type in anyone who I want to trade with. Let's just say I want to trade with John Taggart. And we're going to make it a reciprocal trade. And let's say he wants to trade with me for, well, I'm not sure how we can do
Did
that.
you just say John Taggart? I caught that.
There you go. You like that?
Beverly Hills Cop.
So all of my people in here, with the exception of me, are all like movie cops or TV cops or whatever. So this is my own custom built out thing. Even if we
So
don't do a reciprocal trade, we can just submit this request. And then once that request is submitted, it gets sent to Taggart, and then he can look at it and send me back another day. But yeah, these are all pending trades that are out there right now that are waiting to be like initiated by me, pending for John. And then and we can also we'll get into the next call, but we can set it up whether or not you guys want to approve the trades before they happen as admin.
Yeah, well, I think we do now. But what right now it's like I'm trying to do it following
Yeah.
your lead, but it's only allowing me to pick someone else with the same qualifier. So that's a thing too, where they could say, hey, look, I don't have a specific person I want to trade with. I just want to do a trade with anyone with my qualifications.
Yeah. So that's something we're going to get into with the trade settings.
Got it, guys. Okay.
Which typically would be the next call, but we got a little bit of time here, so I'll dive into it with you. So we have a few things that we would talk about for the trade settings. The first is the trade disclaimer, and this is just the warning that's going to get pushed out to your end users that is warning them that it's their butts if their tradee doesn't show up to work that shift. We can set it up so there's no approval required, which is what you have right now. We can have it let the end user select who gets to approve it, or just the on-duty officer in charge. We can set it as. We can set it up so that you can, with reversing trades and reports, that's going to depend on when a trade occurs. Does the person working get paid, or the person that is being worked for get paid.
No. Oh, okay, I see.
And it'll be the one
Yeah,
that,
whoever's
on shift is the one getting paid for us.
Okay. So we would just reverse that in the trade reports then when it comes to payroll purposes. And then we can, what we would do is we want to create trade on and trade off work types so that we know which person is working and which one is off, even though they are on the trade. So like, for example, like we would want the person who is not working but on your schedule to have them being listed as trade off. And then the other one is trade on. And then the person who's trade on would get the regular time short code for payroll.
Perfect.
And then down here is the limiting trades to matching qualifiers portion. That toggling that on makes it so that you only want a chief to trade with the chief, vice versa. And then the other option is, do you want three-way trades? So if Steve trades with Bob, but then Bob decides that he can't work it, does he want to trade off to Chris? And now you've got this weird overlap of he's working for him and this shell game of who's working for who. We can toggle that on to keep it from having three-way trades. Which, again, your preference.
We've had that in the past. That doesn't happen too often where you get something that lets you trade.
If it gets too crazy, I just delete everything and just put the guy that's actually working on there.
I can get behind that. Okay. With a little bit of time we do have left, I did want to show you how to do the SNAP assignments, which is like we talked about for your 4th of July upstaffing.
Oh, yeah.
If that sounds okay.
Yes, please.
All right. So hang on. Let's just save that for now. Assignments, add assignment. And we're just going to call it 4th of July. And we'll still associate it with all of your stuff. And we're just going to leave it as one day because it's only going to be, or every day, but we're only going to fill this for one day. And then I'm going to just backdate to this July. And then on the same day, because we're only doing it for one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's going to make us go into the 5th.
Well, yeah,
What's
it's a
your-
24-hour shift, so that makes sense.
Perfect. So we'll do it as that. And then how many positions do you typically upstaff for that?
A whole nother engine crew, so 3. So it'll be the same as the regular.
Okay.
But we'll have a second engine crew. There you go. Yeah.
All right. Do you have the same shared group of an EMT?
Yes.
Okay.
You normally do, right? You normally require it. Yeah. They just end up running out of the brush truck is normally what happens in case we get bench fires.
Yeah. So I'm going to save this, and then what you're going to notice is that it disappears. And the reason it disappeared is because it's past the last occurrence date. So if we click on archive, now our 4th of July assignment is here, and it has the same positions, but it's in our archive. Cool. So let's go back to the shift board. And from the shift board, we're going to come up here to this more options button, and it creates a drop down. And one of the drop downs is add a SNAP assignment. So I'm going to take the SNAP assignment, I'm going to add it, and I'm going to, this is searching only from your archived assignments. So because we only have the one, we're just doing 4th of July. And then we're required to have a start date and end date. And I'm going to look forward to July of 26, starting on the 4th, ending on the 5th, from 8 to 8, and we hit save. So now when we look at our calendar and we want to skip ahead to July of 2026 on the 4th. Oh, that's June. Got ahead of myself. Now we have
Got it.
the 4th of July here, and this little plus symbol is a signifier to you that this is a SNAP assignment. Your people can come in, and if they're on the end user account, like your people can sign up for open shifts too, if you want them to. It'll display. I'll show you my site where I'm in set up as an end user. But if people hover, okay, that's not going to let me because I'm not. Hang on. Sorry. Get him into time off. Save him there. So because I have the qualifier that matches for this shift commander spot, when I hover over this, I can sign up for this spot. We can set this up so that it requires your approval as the administrator, or we can set it up just so that that person will automatically fill that spot if they have a matching qualifier. So when I click on it, I can decide, do I want to do this full 6 to 1800, or do I just want to work part of it? If let's say I just want to do part of it, I only want to do 6 to noon, and then I say sign up. So it comes up here and gives me this indicator that I've signed up for it, and I can, as a supervisor, either approve or deny it. But because if I was as a supervisor, I don't want you to work a partial shift, I want you to work a whole shift, I can just decline and it sends you back out. But again, people can sign up for the full. And once they've signed up for the full, now it gives me the option to approve this. And I can hit approve.
So if multiple people sign up for that, does it show up with all the names of everybody that wants to work that shift?
Yes.
Because that's how we do it now, what you just did. So we'll have that 3-person crew reoccur every day, and they go in because it stays open, and they'll click on it because there's nobody assigned every day. So they'll click on it and they'll assign themselves saying, "Hey, I want to work this shift." So that's the way we actually do it right now, which is another way. So
yep. So that's like between the my shifts and stating their availability and them being able to click on those individual calendar dates in the shift board, that's the two ways that your people are going to be able to get set up on that. I'm leaving this screen up here because this has to do with that maximum consecutive hours worked. So this is just giving me the warning that if I sign up to work this shift, I'm going to exceed the maximum number of hours of 18 hours allowed to work in a row. I can cancel it or confirm it, but if I cancel it, it's going to take me back to denying, or if I approve it, it'll just throw it on.
Question.
Yes.
Is there a way to turn off one or the other and only allow one? Because here's the dilemma.
Okay.
So if I look at the day and I see 4 people signed up for the whatever day and their names are highlighted on the actual shift board, am I going to see another 3 people that did it to the side on the available through their shift board, or does it duplicate?
You'll see both. So if, let's say, somebody made themselves available on the My Shifts calendar, they're going to show up over here. But if
Okay.
somebody just bypassed that and clicked on to sign up the shift, then it's going to show up over on this side.
Okay, so it's not going to duplicate itself.
Oh, correct. It won't. No, but you're going to
Okay, so
have.
is there a way to choose either option and have the other one turned off?
Yep, we can turn off the option where they sign up from the shift board.
Okay, no, I prefer that way better because I'm actually looking at the day on one screen and not have to look over here to the right.
well, so it shows up over here. So the one benefit would be, you know how when you start manipulating it,
Yeah.
does it send them a notice saying, "Hey, he rejected your request"?
It will, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, but if they put themselves as available on the side, does it give them a notification if he doesn't pick them, or only if he picks them to work?
I'm pretty sure they get a notification if they are told no.
Because that's the other thing. You know how like sometimes you'll be manipulating.
Well, yeah.
You'll give someone a shift. Like, oh, shit.
What I don't want to have happen is for this day.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I see 2 enops over here and 3 firefighters, and then over here is 8 different people for I can't look at 2
well, we just won't show them. We just won't show them one or the other. So whatever one you prefer, we're gonna have to teach them. This is the way you do it.
Well,
Okay.
that's,
Yeah.
that's what we speak. Do that.
Right. I
Well, he likes, but that's the thing that you can only turn off the one where they can't request it to do the shift,
Oh.
not over here where they make themselves available. You can't turn off the availability setting, right? Where it says I'm available to work.
Maybe, but I think at that point, like the my availability is pretty passive. So its impact on you, even if they were to do it, like if you told them, hey, just ignore it, we're not going to mess with that at all. I'm just going to jump to the settings here to make sure.
But you could turn off the shift request through the actual dashboard for the day itself. You can turn that off.
Yes.
Like
yeah,
right here.
yeah, we'll do that.
Because like right here, you can turn off, see, I can't request it. Right, so let's say Sunday, I can't, well, also I don't have the qualifications, but had I had the qualifications, I could request it here, or I go back into my shifts
Right.
and I could just say instead, hey, I'm available. And that's the part you don't actually like. You don't like this part because you have to open a separate screen
Right,
under the
right,
shift
right.
board.
I
So now you got to look for.
I think we just teach them to sign up through the actual.
And that's
day.
fine, you can do that, and then, but then remember, like the problem you have now is where you'll approve someone or you'll deny them, then you'll be like, oh shit. I gave them the other shift, so now you gotta come back and you add them,
Right.
so they keep getting these messages, I'm approved, I'm not approved, no, I am approved, So that's the only benefit of doing it this other way, in my
Right.
opinion, unless he says they're getting notified.
We'll play with it. And we'll see
Yeah,
what
we're
we
gonna have to.
Yeah. And I
It's the same
think
concepts.
I think if you test around with it, because I don't have a way to to test if multiple people sign up for a shift from the shift board. So maybe amongst yourselves, multiple people try to sign up for a shift and see what happens from this standpoint. Because if you have, we said like 14 people that want to work on a particular day, this is going to get really cluttered really fast, and I'm not sure how many it's going to give you at that point.
Yeah.
We'll play with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like
three
reserving,
months or
signing
something.
up from the shift board, I mean, might be a better thing for like a last minute deal vacancy. Like, hey guys, there's a vacancy here. Go look at what you want. I don't know, but you know your operation better than I do.
Yeah. We'll make it work.
Anything else for today?
That's a good start.
No.
Because like I think you're at a point where like you could start running this concurrently with CrewSense. Like you absolutely could. We would probably try to plan to schedule our second call for like a couple weeks out. Would you want to do that today or wait on schedule?
I'll let you guys pick because I'm gonna be gone for months, so you guys need to coordinate that.
Oh, it's already that time of year.
Your
Gotta go hunt, man.
Quelo, any days coming up that you're not available?
Not that I know of.
Okay. You have any questions? I guess we should have been asking you, Quelo. All this kind of making sense to you for how we use it now?
Somewhat.
Okay. We can play when you get back in the office. A couple weeks.
Yeah, so I'm looking out a couple weeks here, which kind of puts us into the first week of October. I've got like Thursday the 2nd, where I've got 3 times open. Or if you want to bump to any of these other blue days, I have availability.
Yeah, we have fire prevent. So what days did you?
It's the 11th.
I'm on the wrong calendar. Fire department calendar. You put it on fire department? Oh, the 6th through the 11th. Okay, so the week he's talking about, we're good. Okay, there it is. Okay. I'll be gone, end of October. I'm good here. Okay. All right, so we get back over here.
Yeah, and I just changed the time zone on this to Pacific time for you guys because I'm on Eastern.
Perfect. So you're saying the 2nd, what day is it? Thursday? You have a Friday? Oh, you don't do Fridays?
Well, I just don't have one available that day.
Oh, got you. No, we'll go the 2nd. That works. Quelo, are you able to be around or like do this on the 2nd?
In the afternoon.
In the afternoon. Okay, that works for us too, because I got on the 2nd I got that meeting in Modesto. So well, let me go back to his schedule. Sorry. What time on that date?
Yeah, I only have morning
Oh,
calls
you
for
only
you
have morning.
guys.
Oh duh, because you're in another. What about Wednesday, Quelo? Could you do a morning on Wednesday?
The first?
No, the first. What do you got for the first? He's got a 9:30. I got my staff meeting that day. It's never gonna end. Or we
Maybe
do that
do,
Monday, the 29th. What about Monday, the 29th? What do you got? You're here
9:30.
Monday, right?
Yeah, I'm on call anyway.
Okay, so let's do the 29th. What does it say in here? What is it? Oh, I'm not worried about that. Okay, yeah, let's do the 29th. That works for me too then.
Okay. Do you want the 9:30 or the 10?
Quayla, I'll let you pick.
Yeah, let's do 10.
The 10 I heard?
Yes, please.
All right, I will complete this and fill it out once we're off the call and get that sent off to you guys. In the meantime, play around with it, try to break it, see what we can find that we need to fix for you. If you're struggling with something that's like silly and you're annoyed, don't wait until the 29th to reach out. Like send me an email, let me know. I can jump on a quick call. We'll do something to help you out or answer a question. I just don't want to see a struggle. So, in the meantime, though, we'll meet again on the 29th, and I'll send you out an email here shortly with a meeting recording, and we should be good from there.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
appreciate it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good rest of your day. Be safe.
All right, talk to you soon.